Hiya guys, welcome along. Nigel here, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and just a quick video to say hello, where we are, where we're going, and to celebrate the fact that it's February already. So what's been happening? I want to start by saying I am mega excited, mega over the moon about a kit release that has just been announced. There's a few videos going about on YouTube if you haven't seen them from the Nuremberg Toy Fair, and yeah, this model here, this 1/10 scale GT4 Mustang, if you remember when I did a review of that, I said that I was hoping and praying and begging, please do a 1/24 scale detailed kit of that car. They've done it. They're releasing a 1/24 scale Mustang GT4 from Tamiya, and it comes in, you get the decal options to build car number, I think it's 17 or 18, and it's the white and the grey versions. So they've got the different kind of flashes down the back, from the back window down. So yeah, over the moon. I'll put a picture up here. Here you go. That's how much I love that car. I was giving it a cuddle there, although you maybe you'll be able to see it. So basically, yeah, I'm really over the moon, and I've actually emailed Hobby Company, who are the Tamiya importers for the UK, and I've asked them if they could possibly arrange for me to get a pre-production sample or anything like that, if they can help, because I'm an absolute Mustang nut. As some of you know, I've actually got one. I wish I had a GT4, I wish I had a GT350, but I can't afford a GT4. Probably couldn't afford a GT350, but GT350 is not available in right-hand drive, and having owned a 2008 Mustang GT, which was a 4.6 3-valve V8, and that was left-hand drive, it's a pain in the ass. I know a lot of people do it, but I can't abide left-hand drive in the UK. You get on the A roads like out towards Oxford and stuff, you get behind a lorry and there's a bit of busy, you need to leave so far back to actually overtake that you've lost your chance of overtaking because you're so far behind what you're trying to overtake. So I sold that and swore I'd never get another left-hand drive car. And for those that don't know, the Corvette is going to be coming to this country this year in right-hand drive as well. So there's another one for a few American car lovers. So during January, we bought a couple of kits. We bought the Brem 1, which I've actually still got sat here on the bench. It's not started. This is the Brem 1, the recovery vehicle. Beautiful kit. I've been having a bit of a look through it, and it looks like I can make the crane movable and workable. And the other thing to look at is the tracks. Now, I've been doing a little bit of research on it, and I noticed that these tracks, these are the older type T72 tracks. Some of them now have the T80 tracks on them, so something worth looking out for. Obviously, both tracks are readily available from Trumpeter. Not sure if they're a direct swap over on the sprockets or whatever, but worth looking at. But I have seen pictures of these vehicles with these tracks, so they are actually correct, even though not all the vehicles have them. We also bought the Gladiator, which was the big 98A3 surface-to-air missile system with the 4 great big missiles on the back. That is a beautiful kit. The reason I bought it, it was on Amazon and it was like half price. So that's why I bought that one. Did a review on it. Lovely kit. I will be doing a build of it eventually. Whether I'll do a build online or not, I don't know. So freebies. Freebies in January. I was a very lucky boy. I received 4 lots of freebies. First I got from Anis, looks like NEZ or NEZ, and he sent me some knobs and decals for cockpit detailing. You could also use those on vehicles or whatever, and there was some placard decals and some little switch direction things, you know, and stuff. Fantastic. Go back, have a look at that review. Really good parts. Premium Hobbies, Edit Premium Hobbies, as ever, very generously sent me a load of Infini sanding equipment. I've got piles of sanding equipment now from Infini, and I don't tend to really use much else. I use the Flory Skinny sticks still, because as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing that's going to replace them in my modelling world. But I don't tend to use anything else other now than the Infini sticks. And he also sent me through some MRP paints as well. I got some primers and some super clears as well. I'm looking forward to using those, but it's going to be when the weather's nicer and I can have the window open, because they do stink. And I'm really interested to see, they've got like a semi gloss varnish and a semi matte varnish. So I'll be interested to see what the difference is, because as far as I'm concerned, most mattresses, most matte varnishes on the market are semi-matte anyway. The only one I know that's really totally matte is the AK Super Matte. So yeah, but it's not very hard wearing. You can just rub it off with your finger. So yeah, be interested to see how they work. Right. The other thing I had freebie wise was the Aerocraft Hellcat conversions, which I've had to send back actually, and they are there's some resin and some decals and stuff to do some conversions on your 1/24 scale Hellcat kits. So I sent some of the most of the decals back, and I kept the resin. So whether I use any of that or not, we'll see. So I've done a review on that as well. Go back and have a look if you're interested. And finally, I've had in the post yesterday from Master. Thank you very much to Master in Poland. I've had these 2 sets of gun barrels turn up, and these are for the 1/24th Hellcat, and one is uncovered 50 cal Brownings, and one is 50 cal Brownings in fairings. So you can see the difference there. You can make it out in the camera. So I'll do a review on those as soon as I know what the actual changes are for. But I know that the kit guns are very softly moulded and not very nice at all. These will make a hell of a difference. So builds for January, the latest 2 builds we've been on is the Land Rover conversion. We're doing the Wimic and the short wheelbase. Been looking into the Land Rovers a bit. Apparently there are a ton of errors with that Wimic kit, so I've got to get that sorted, because I don't want to build something that's, you know, if it's got 5 rivets where there should be 3, or the tyres half a mil too skinny or something, it is what it is. But apparently the gun's like double the height it should be or something, and in the wrong place, and so I want to get that right. I mean, I know, for example, they have the tyre, the spare wheel on the bonnet. Well, they never had the spare wheel on the bonnet, so that needs to be changed as well. And we've also got the Book, which, as you know, I stopped. That would have been last weekend, I think, when I filmed that, because I ran out of super glue. My super glue has dried out and gone thick. So I've got some new super glue now, so I've got no excuse to get on and finish that. We'll get that primered up and painted, job done. And then I think the next online build will be actually this one, the Brem 1, or maybe the Gladiator, I don't know. But that Brem 1 needs to be built. It's beautiful. So yeah, we've also got the Book, as I just mentioned. Sorry, I'm going off on one now. I've also been working off camera on a couple of models that I started many moons ago. One of them, which is the Trumpeter 1/35th condensator. That's the great big gun. I've got it over there behind me. I didn't think to bring it on camera, but I've basically finished the assembly on that. If you look back at my earliest videos of the very early days, I think it's the first kit I ever did. So I finished the build on that, so now it's ready for primer and paint. So I will do a little video on that one, finishing with primer and paint, and I may test out the new MRP primers. However, because they stink so badly and it's a big model, I probably will just use my MIG one shot, which is the same as AK one shot, which is the same as Stone Res, which is the same as what's his name, international scale model of Paul Lott's ultimate primers. So yeah, so it's the same thing. Rule of thumb on that stuff is shake the hell out of it before you use it, because it does go quite thick at the bottom. I've also finished a model I never did a feature on this channel, the 2S1 152mm self-propelled howitzer from Trumpeter. I finished the build on that. I've got a couple of aftermarket bits on it, and yeah, lovely build. So that's also ready for primer. So what I might do is put those two together and do a sort of double finish and just prime and paint both of them. One's going to be just, obviously the condensator will just be green with a very slight amount of highlighting and stuff and some washes, and the 2S19 will actually get some dirt and stuff on it. So yeah. Other people's channels, I've been looking around on YouTube, and something that's really caught my eye. I only saw it last night and I commented on there. You must go and have a look. Please go and have a look. Give him a like, give him a subscribe, leave him a comment. The guy's name is Steve. The channel is Motty's Military Models. Wow, he has just done a IDF group build. I'm not sure who was doing the group build. If I'd known, I would have entered it. He's done a IDF group build. He's done a diorama of a Merkava on a running next on a strip running next to the Gaza Strip, basically, and it's a Merkava stopped up, just men outside the tank and stuff. Not quite finished. He hasn't quite decided where he's going to position his men yet. Have a look, or figures, shall I say, not men. Have a look at his channel. It's his latest video. It is absolutely stunning. The Merkava is incredible, but never mind that. The diorama, I think it's one of the best I've ever seen. He's got like part of the wall on the Gaza Strip, the wire along the top, the barbed wire, and he's even got like the rags and rubbish all stuck in the barbed wire, as you see wherever you go. I've never seen that before. I'm sure it's been done, but I've never seen it before, and it's just incredible. He's got cans and Coke bottles and water bottles and stuff. And what's really, really nice about the channel and that video in particular is Steve will always tell you how he does something and what he's used. So he won't just say, look at that rock. He will say, that rock there was literally a stone out of the garden, and I gave it a coat of PVA, and then I painted it with such and such acrylic paint, washed it with such and such oil, and then I just stuck it down with a blob of blue tack, and there it sits. That's actually how, he goes into very much depth about how he does stuff. There's no secrets with Steve. Great guy, great modeler. Go and have a look. As I say, you don't have to say I sent you, but it's really worth a look. It really is beautiful. It is lovely. The only thing I will say, when you watch the video, he's done some editing, and he's done like a bit like now where he's talking to the camera, and then he's moved to like, right, so let's go and look at the bench. And then the next segment is the first part repeated all over again. So after you've watched the first segment and he says, I'm going to the bench, right? When you get to that bit, fast forward to the bench, because the second part is just the same as the first part. But I know what it's like, Steve, when you make these videos, to go in and edit it afterwards. It's just, once it's up on YouTube, it's such a nightmare to edit it. And YouTube, I don't find YouTube very user-friendly for editing, actually, on their channel. So there we go. Go and have a look at that. He's also inspired me to, seeing that, to get a kit out that I've been building over a couple of years. I do a little bit on it every now and again. And it's a mini art Tiran 4, and it's the kit with the complete interior. I don't think I've ever seen one finished. I've never seen one built. The only thing I've seen on YouTube is sort of inbox reviews, and it's if there's a kit out there that's going to break you as a modeler, those big mini art interior kits, 1,300 parts, it's just crazy. It's so complex, but very, very accurate, and very, very realistic, and very, very to scale. And when you see mine, I'll show you that you do a little bit of careful work, a bit of forethought, working outside the instructions, and some careful painting and washing and a bit of subtle weathering, and you can sort of get something that looks really nice. And it's sort of a bit of a shame to cover it all up, but that's the way it is. So I'm going to do a separate video on that, and I'm going to get that out and do a sort of build review, talk about the kit, how it goes together, the problems, what I've done. I mean, it is so immense. I've got it now in 2 boxes. One box isn't enough. So yeah, I'll show you that kit. I think you'll be impressed. I've also nearly finished the Meng D9 dozer, which I did a lot of work on in the cab and stuff. No aftermarket on that, just all plastic card and stuff. So yes, there is actually some aftermarket. I replaced the hydraulic rams with aftermarket rams. So yeah, have a look at that, and that'll be coming your way very shortly. So anyway, that sort of does that really. I just want to say thank you. You'll see a list of names coming up now with the people who've contributed to the channel. Thank you very, very much. You've contributed via PayPal and Patreon. And I'm very, very grateful. I really must go and start looking at some cameras. I've got hundreds and hundreds of pounds now, probably 600 quid going on. And I also want to get some better lighting as well. So we'll see. Could even be £700. Basically, whatever you send me goes into the kitty to get a new camera, and then after that, I guess it'll be down to kit. So I guess what I'll do is have a system where you guys can nominate what I build and what I buy and what I build, I guess. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon with some more on bench action. I've got the review of these to do, which will be very, very soon. I'm going to do the Tyran 4 build review, which will be very, very soon, and I'm going to get the book finished up, and then we'll get some paint put on that. And I'm also going to get the condensator, the 2S19, and the Land Rovers out too. So, oh, and one other thing. In England, February is generally, around the middle of February, is generally when it starts to, we get a really, really cold snap. And of course, when it gets really cold, I can't work on my Land Rover then, my real Land Rover. So you'll see me more at the bench then. So we'll get back to usual, back to normal, should I say. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.